Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Friday the 14th of August 2026, otherwise known as Season Eve. The season starts tomorrow. This is the last sleep before the league season starts tomorrow. So obviously we had the QPR game last week, which we managed to win the tie after a draw and a penalty shootout win. But this is the real stuff. So very annoying that it's good vibes only. The season, it's starting. Good vibes only. At the moment, we don't know. Are we good? Are we bad? Are we going to get a result tomorrow? Who knows? But it's good vibes only. So it's very disappointing for us to have this. I'm not going to read this because, it's like I said, it's good vibes only. It's good vibes only. A letter from the Millwall Sports Club and Fan Advisory Board. So it's a condescending letter chastising the Millwall fans for their behaviour and telling them, sit down, shut up, mind your business, and just keep paying the money. But it's the club that has done this. The club have done this. They've organised this, and they are hiding behind the fan groups, which are supposed to advocate for the fans and not against the fans. It's quite. Obviously, I'm not going to read it because like I said, it's going to get me angry. It's going to piss me off. So, but just want to compare and contrast with what the club has just done now, and with what Bristol City, the team that we're playing tomorrow, what they've done. So this is what they put out. Picture of the crowd, happy, smiling, laughing. There you go. Thank you, fans. Thank you, Bristol City fans, for your support ahead of the season. Thank you, because we don't know whether we're going to have a good season or a bad season, but we do know that you are our fans and you will support us and come to the game. So thank you, and then thank you for buying the season tickets, and thank you for buying. If you didn't buy a season ticket, you bought a match ticket for the game tomorrow. Thank you, and thank you, for bearing with us while we changed the ticket system, and we had a bit of trouble. We had a little bit of trouble with our ticket systems, but thank you, fans. Thank you for being patient with us as we worked through these problems. Thank you. So the Bristol City fans, they get thank yous and we get fuck yous. It's not bad enough that we get attacked from outside the club. We are now getting attacked by the club as well. Isn't that fantastic? Anyway, good vibes only. We're moving on. Here we go. So obviously, at the end of the video, we're going to preview the game tomorrow. So this video is upside down in that the smaller stories that are at the front of the video, and then we finish with the first team previewing tomorrow's game. They have announced a Lionesses game at the Den the week before the West Ham game, so hopefully they don't fuck the pitch up. But maybe it will be advantageous for us if they did, because I would imagine West Ham play the ball and we go a bit more direct. So I don't know. Maybe that's part of the tactics. Maybe they're playing 4D chess. I don't know. Millwall Lionesses to take on Ashford Town women at the Den. Millwall Lionesses are going to play Ashford Town at the Den in the London and South East Regional Women's Premier Division on Sunday, the 13th of September. Kick-off at 1:30 p.m. And if you are a season ticket holder, you can watch it for free. But you still need to get your ticket from the ticket office. But they'll give you a free ticket. Presumably they will. I don't know if you still have to pay for postage, or you just collect it and they don't charge you anything for it. I don't know. I haven't looked. And if you're not a season ticket holder, you can pay £5 and £2 for under 16s. So there you go. And obviously, this is as a result of the situation last season where what they called London City Lionesses, who play at Bromley, who are the splinter group. The splinter. They split off from the London City Lionesses and they took their place. So they are the MK Dons of women's football, and nobody seems to care. They say, "Oh, isn't it great?" Yes. You don't have that energy when it comes to MK Dons. You still hate them. And you saying, "Oh, you should change your name from Dons." But why is it still called Dons? You're nothing to do with Wimbledon. Change your name to MK Town or MK City, or why are you still calling yourself MK Dons? But apparently, London City Lioness is stealing a team. That's fine. So, but there you go. Obviously, You can pay for car parking, so you will be allowed to car park. It's first come first serve, £5, and they got the bars open, and it's just the Barry Kitchener, so the West stand lower for the game, open at midday. So there you go. This is what they're doing. Sunday the 13th. Now, and obviously that because that's ahead of the West. I thought when I saw the date, I thought, oh, is that in the international break? Because like I said, we've got international breaks that are three weeks long now. Are they going to put games inside of it to fill it, like a friendly or something? I don't know, but nah. This is the week before the West Ham game, so it's not in the international break. Now, the under-21 game today that no one was allowed to go to except for the Brighton fans. Well, it's no surprise that they won it then. We're such a partisan crowd, is it? Is it? It's obviously unfair advantage when you ban anyone else from attending. And the competitive advantage is given to you because your opposition isn't allowed to have any fans attending. No wonder you won the game. So, yeah. This is the result. This is from flashscore.co.uk. They lost 2-0. They were 1-0 down after 9 minutes and 2-0 down after 82 minutes. But apparently they played quite well because the stats say we had 15 shots, they had 10. We had 5 shots on target, they had 3. We had 10 shots off target, they had 7. So, and we had more corners than them, something like 7-2. So we gave it a go. I guess I don't know. Obviously, maybe there's going to be highlights on YouTube. Brighton do put some of their under-21 games live on YouTube for free from last season. They were doing it, but this one wasn't. So I don't know if we're going to see the goals or what. But I don't know. But we do have some information. So obviously, this is a cup game, Premier League Cup, which is a group cup game. So we'll get into that in a minute. Now, here is the team, the lineup. George Evans, Archie Kirby, Daniel Amuse, Alfie Massey, Tristan Parks, Trialist A, Sasha Sugita Vieira, Elias Mansour, Caleb Redhead, AJ Matthews and Jaden Thomas Smith. The subs bench was Trialist B, Jacob Pozwosny, Edward Payton, Eamon Sheikh, Louis Jacombe, Lyndon Snellgrove and Darrell Archer. And you may notice the colour there, the colour. What is it? Well, it's red. It's scarlet. You know what that means. Look at that. They wore the kit. They wore the kit that you all ate and I like. Again, so here's the thing. I think, obviously, it don't look that bad, do it? Come on, it don't look that bad. I'm sure when you see Jake Cooper in it for the first team or whichever player is your favourite player, I'm sure you're gonna like the kit, especially if we get results. Obviously it's a third kit. I would have said when are we going to play it for the first team? Play in it in the first team against teams, because our home kit is blue and our away kit is white. So when we go away to teams that play in blue or white, so who is that? That's Cardiff, that's Birmingham City, that's Preston, that's Bolton. So we might barely even wear it 6 times. So it's not going to be warm that much, but there you go. That's what it looks like in the wild with AJ Matthews there wearing it. And this is Mill FC Academy on Instagram. We have some more information though from Brighton. Obviously they have named the trialists, which defeats the point of calling them trialists if you're going to literally list them. So this is Brighton's website, which is a bit janky. I don't know where they're getting this information from. So according to Mill's Twitter, AJ Matthews went off at half time. I don't know if that was a tactical change or an injury or what. Maybe they went to one up front. They were 1-0 down. And then later on there was a substitution. But the trialist, number 6, Lloyd Aforu Mantu. So he was at Norwich, and he's had a contract for 1 year, pro contract for 1 year. They gave him a contract last year when he was 18, so presumably he's like 19, and I don't know if he's been presumably he's been released. And the other one is Antoine Sanchez, and Antoine Sanchez, I don't think he got on. I think the only people that came on was Louis Jacombe came off AJ Matthews at 45 minutes, which isn't listed here, And Archer, they're saying 81 minutes, but then it's 87 minutes here. What I think happened, obviously I don't know, I could check, but I think this is a league. So if you lose, you don't want to lose by too much, because that does matter at the end. You want to maximise your wins and minimise your defeats in terms of goal difference. So obviously that's going to become a factor if Brighton win all their games, and then it's which the teams that lost to them, who lost worse. So I think that I believe Darnell Archer is a defender. I think he's a really tall centre back. So they may have brought him on to kind of like shore it up at the end, or they played him up front just to ping balls up to him. I don't know, but like I said, I wasn't allowed to watch the game. No one was, except for a Brighton season ticket holders. Must be good, eh? Must be good to live in a real country. There you go. Although some information. So for Millwall, obviously a lot of Millwall fans commute to the games. They commute to home games especially. You might be having a bit of issues if you use the trains to come in. 2 train derailments in 2 days. One, Lewis? Was it near Polegate? They've shut that line down. Fuck knows how long that's going to take to fix. I think they're probably waiting for it to cool down. But who knows? And today, one in Wickford. So if you're coming in from Essex, South Essex, that's fucked up as well. So what a nightmare. What a nightmare. Now, don't really cover the under-18s, but they've got to put this up on the website millfc.co.uk today. Obviously, they start their season tomorrow as well. They're at home, Calmet Road to Peterborough United. The games, you're not allowed to attend the games. So that's why I don't really cover them. Obviously, they're children. Like, they're under 18. They're usually like 16, 17. Because anyone who's 18 is probably playing for the under 21s at this point. So, not really, don't want to cover them, don't want to highlight their mistakes, or if they're playing well, make them too big-headed. But, obviously, like I said, if they're good enough at that level, they'll be in the under-21s anyway, so they'll be talked about. You know what I mean? So, I'm just going to read this, but I won't be covering the under-18s this season. It's not really what I do. So they're playing Peterborough United at Calmet Road, 12pm kickoff. Chris Perry's side are back in action for the opening weekend of the PDL campaign after finishing second in the Southern section in the previous season and were narrowly defeated by Wigan Athletic 1-0 in the playoff semi-finals. The Posh's most recent visit to Calmet Road was last August, where they came away with 3 points and a 2-1 win. Speaking to Chris ahead of the season, Chris Perry, he said, it's been a really good pre-season. We went away for a week, which is always great when you've got a new group coming in, and we will get to see them for a longer period. It's really important for the boys to build that camaraderie between the group, and it also gives us time to sit down with individuals and go through what we're expecting of them and what their strengths are and where do they think they can play. Yeah, I think they went on to Norwich. I don't know if Norwich have like a dormitory or some kind of DOS house, student housing, next to their training ground, and apparently they went there and they stayed there and trained at Norwich's training ground. We've had a couple of games while we were away, and the performances and results were positive, and we feel like we're in a good place ahead of the season. On the previous campaign's efforts, he added, the initial fault when we lost to Wigan was disappointment. On the day, we felt like we were the better side and we had enough to go through to the final against Charlton. But when we look back on the season, the amount of game time we've given to under-16s and the first-year scholars, for us to finish so high with such a young group as our core squad for most of the season, I think it was a fantastic achievement and puts us in a really good place for this season. That's the thing. You're always, we're playing, and most of our players are like 15, 16. Whereas you'll get to some of these other teams, especially the northern ones, they don't have the depth in the squad. So they're playing like 18-year-olds. They play them right up until they'll play them all the way. So there you go. Speaking on the upgrades to Well Hall, yes, mentioned that the other day, they have improved the training ground for the academy, which is, so the academy, the under-21s don't train at the academy, the under-21s train at Calmet Road. The academy is the under 18s and below. There is no under 19. There is no under 20. It's under 18 and below. They train at Wellhall Road, which is in Eltham. So that's where they train. And that has been upgraded. Chris said, "Oh, it's been brilliant. We've just got on the new 4G pitch, which is fantastic. Not just for us, but for the whole academy. Only 4G? 4G? They've got 5G now. 5G. Only 4G. The grass pitches aren't quite ready yet, but we need to be able to train on a great grass surface. Will be amazing, as we really trained on grass last season, and that will be so much better for the boys, and I think we really help the preparations for our games. Again, this is the upgrade, grass pitch. Again, like I said the other day, they said, they're trying to get into the Premier League for 2030. So then they have to improve the academy as well. So are they going to make a bid to make it a Category 1? Because everyone around us, apart from Charlton, is Category 1. Every other team in London, most of them are Category 1. So obviously if you're a player and you're looking to go, you want to go to a Category 1. Because then, even if, most of the young players don't make it, but when they're in school, and their parents want to brag to other parents, they say, "Oh, my son plays for Chelsea, my son plays for Arsenal. Category 1, Category 1, Okay, well, good luck with that. He'll be let go and then they'll end up playing for, Braintree Town, so. The under-18s league coach touched on the upcoming season by saying, we're just looking at it as an opportunity to try and improve the players. We want to get them playing in the under-21s. Obviously, the ultimate aim is to get them into the first team, and we want to improve everyone as quickly as possible. If we can pick up some good results and play some nice football on the way, then that's what we're looking to do. A match report will be available on Millwall's website, but please be aware that all of Millwall's under-18s league matches are to be played behind closed doors, and the only games that aren't are the FA Youth Cup matches, which is the only ones that I cover. They have to be played at the home club stadium. So that's the Den. We have played games at the Den. Some big games, some we've won, some we've lost. But I will be covering them, of course, but not really the league games. Now, moving on to the main event of this evening's video, the preview for tomorrow's game. Well, let's have a look at this. This is from southwarknews.co.uk. Alex Neil assesses Mill's squad ahead of Bristol City. We're hoping the cycle can continue. Fingers crossed, eh? Yeah, We're hoping. He's hoping the cycle can continue. So he doesn't know. He's not sure. Let's see. Is he optimistic? Doesn't sound very optimistic. Maybe he's optimistic and pessimistic at the same time. What would you call that? Istic. Just istic. He's not optimistic. He's not pessimistic. He's just istic. Millwall boss Alex Neil was happy with his squad heading into the first championship game of the season and hinted any remaining transfer business will depend on potential exits. The Lions have signed 8 players this summer and re-signed Joel Coleman and Massimo Longo, so that's 10. Macaulay Langstaff and Adam Mayer were sold to Salford City and Hibernian, and Barry Bannon returned to Sheffield Wednesday. Yeah, Adam Mayer doing pretty well at Hibernian, apparently. Obviously, they beat Rangers the other day, although Rangers having a bad start, so that's probably not much to brag about, to be honest. Neil was asked in pre-match press conference before Bristol City if the club is still aiming to recruit. I think it depends on what happens between now and the end of August. If anybody leaves, then naturally we'll have to fill a couple of gaps. Unfortunately, we've got maybe 5 or 6 injuries at the moment, and a lot of those lads could easily be staking a claim to be starting, and it certainly doesn't help in that sense. But we're okay. Mill have had success in recent seasons as a sign of relatively unheralded players or players from lower levels and developing them into valuable assets. The club are expecting bids for Femi Aziz before the end of the current window. Neil knows the new players could take time to bed in, but hopes they can repeat the successes of previous signings. In time, but before the start of this season? Who knows? I've had quite a few incomings, and there have been incomings of young players that haven't really played at the level, so to ask them to come in and surpass 83 points and finish a third in the table is a big ask, and I think we need to be a little bit more realistic with that. However, what we have got is a core of players that were fundamental last year in getting us there, and certainly to start with, they'll do a lot of the heavy lifting. And we're hoping the new lads who brought in would develop and help us on our way and develop into top players like some of the other lads have done, like Zach, Sturge, Caleb Taylor, Derek Mazusako, Joshie Coburn and Femi. You know, all those boys started where they are now. And we're hoping that cycle can continue. So yeah, but again, how long should it take? They should be showing glimpses of the magic, certainly before Christmas, you would imagine. Because by then, obviously, like I said, once we get to, I think it's around Boxing Day, we would have played everyone once. That's the same every season, up to Boxing Day. You play everyone once. So you played half the season, you played all the teams, you know what you're in for. So if you're, there or thereabouts, if you just double it and give it, double it, and that should be where you're going to finish, realistically. But for us, we hope that we double it and add a little more because the players improve and they get better and they know what they're doing. And they get a bit more confidence because they're not really showing, things like imposter syndrome. They don't really, is this really for is this my level? Am I really good enough for this level? I'm not so sure. The fans are calling me cunt. Like, I'm not sure. Like, do they have a point? No, I'm a good footballer. You get the idea with that. But yeah, we'll see. But again, like I said, at the moment, we haven't got a clue. The game hasn't been played yet. Good vibes only. We're going to win the league, aren't we? We're going to win the league, everyone. All we need to do is win 30 games. Do you think we can do that? Maybe. Now, talking about the elephant in the room, Femi is. Should he stay or should he go? Dun 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 dun. Southwarknews.co.uk. Surprised there has been an auction. So, what, a literal auction? Should we put him on eBay? Does anyone want to put him on eBay? Millwall Boston Hull City linked Femi Aziz. Hull City. Alex Neal says he is surprised there hasn't been a bidding war for Femi Aziz yet this summer and warned interested parties Millwall won't be undercut by any club. Aziz 25 is attracting interest from Hull City and European sides. Aziz scored 11 goals and registered 8 assists in the Championship last season to help Millwall finish third, just 1 point off automatic promotion. Well, technically not, because it was goal difference. If we would have got 1 point, that would have been level. We would have still been third on goal difference. So we really needed another 2 points. But I get you. I understand what you're saying. Mill turned down bids from Ipswich Town for Aziz in January. Neil praised Lions chairman James Barrelson for backing the side in their promotion bid. Mill would make a huge profit on a player they signed from Reading for over £1 million in the summer of 2024, and the Royals would also get a cut of the profit. Last summer there was speculation around another key player, Japhet Tanganga, before he moved to Sheffield United towards the end of the window. When the window's open, I don't think we'd ever get distracted. Good players attract interest. It's as simple as that. Alex Neil told the News It Then. It's no secret that in January Femi had interest and bids made for him. Jimmy, supporting the team, the club myself, and decided he wasn't taking any bids for any of our key players at that moment, which was great, and it allowed us to then go on and finish third, and Femi was a fundamental part of that. But like every player's got their price, so what I will say is that if anybody's trying to undercut us or go cheap on it, then we don't need to sell anybody, it puts us in a strong position in that sense. I'm surprised, honestly, that there's not been a bit of an auction at Femi to this point. You buy goals and assists, and Femi's been as good as anybody in the last season or two at this level. So let's just see what the next few weeks bring. At this level, so that's interesting. So at this level, obviously Hull, they've just got promoted, but you've got to realistically expect that they'll be at this level next season. Are there any other teams that might get relegated, come back down, and then want him for the Championship next season? So again, I don't know, but again, you don't sleep. Obviously, he is Spanish. He's half Spanish, and they do. If you look at the squad for Villarreal, it's a very mixed team, and they have 5 teams in the Champions League, and they do pay they have been paying 20 million fees for players. So I don't know if he wants to stay here or he wouldn't mind going to Spain, but wouldn't surprise me if he goes to Spain. But we'll see how we go. But again, if he does get replaced, what kind of replacement? someone who is as good as he is now, or someone who is as good as he was 2 years ago. Yeah, there you go. Now, preview. Bristol City versus Millwall from millfc.co.uk. Millwall begin their 26-27 Sky Bet Championship campaign at Bristol City on Saturday afternoon. Kick-off at 3 p.m. following the completion of pre-season and the Carabao Cup first round tie at Queens Park Rangers. The league business begins at Ashton Gate. Alex Neil will be unable to call upon the services of the injured players Tristan Kramer, Derek Mazusako, Alfie Doughty, Matisse Saface and Mihailo Ivanovic for the journey to West Country, but all other squad members are otherwise available. Well, no, Luongo isn't because he's still building up. But you don't want to throw him in. Are ready to kickstart the season. Danny Bath, Elkan Baggott, Lyndon Dykes would all make Lions debuts if selected. Suggestions that Lyndon Dykes will be on the bench for this game. Match passes are now on sale to international subscribers, priced at £10 and can be purchased on the link above. It's on Millwall TV, so if you are abroad outside of the UK and Ireland, you can pay for a match pass and watch it. There you go. Talking of watching it, so here we go. Again from millfc.co.uk, watch Bristol City versus Lions on Millwall TV. Overseas Lions fans can stream Saturday's 26-27 Sky Bet Championship opener Bristol City kick-off at 3 p.m. for £10. Interesting, they haven't put the price up. That is interesting. The Lions kick off the new campaign at Ashton Gate with a match pass bringing you multiple angles of the action live, including replays with full match commentary. But please note that this fixture is not available to stream in the Nordic market. Yes, because Viaplay have done a deal with the EFL where they've got exclusive rights. So I believe they're streaming it. They've set up their own system in Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, Sweden, where they stream it. So they stream every single EFL game, every one, all of them, every single one. Now I don't know how much that costs. What it's comparable to Sky Sports. Is it, because obviously you hear it like a lot all the time, like how expensive it is in the Scandinavia. A pint of beer costs £10. But I think that's because they're trying to stop everyone getting drunk, because they don't want them to get blotto. So I think they're just trying to manage it. I think even, is it Sweden? They still don't have off licenses. The off licenses are run by the government. They literally control the alcohol market. It's government run, and that's to stop people from overdoing it, shall we say. But right, so that's overseas fans. What about inland fans who ain't overseas? Well, you can watch it, but hang on a minute, it's a 3 p.m. kickoff. How can I watch it? Yeah, you can watch it. There's a bizarre rule apparently. So it's on Sky Sports Plus live, even though it's a 3 p.m. kickoff. There's some kind of rule. I don't know if it's always been in place or if it's a new rule that they changed. Obviously, the Premier League isn't here this week. I think does it start next week? I don't care. I don't really care, but it's not here this week. So apparently, the rule says if 50% of the top two divisions are not playing, then the teams that do play, so presumably less than 50%, 49%, that are, or below, that are still playing at 3 p.m. on a Saturday, can be shown live on television. So they are. There are all of the games that are on 3 p.m. because enough have been moved away from 3 p.m. There's one today for the Wolves Blackburn game Friday night, Saturday morning kickoffs, Sunday, Monday, etc. The remaining games can be shown live, so it is being shown live. And Blackburn apparently won that game 2-1. Wow. Wolves are bottom of the table. Well, they're not actually, because Southampton got -4 points, but they're second bottom of the table. Could they be going down after I predicted them to finish third in the division? Why are we here? Oh yeah, TV. Right. So, TV. This is from livesoccertv.com. They tell you where you can watch the game in which country you're in, if you're a global jet setter. You want to know how can I watch this game? I'm travelling around the world because I'm an important businessman doing business around the world. So it looks like in South Asia, it's on fan code, and as mentioned in Scandinavia, it's in Viaplay, although it's also in Viaplay in the Netherlands. But I think if you are in the Netherlands, you can still watch on Millwall TV as well, because that wasn't mentioned on the previous page. And obviously in the USA on Paramount Plus. So there you go. So it's not all around the world, but fair few there. So you get the idea with that. Now, moving on to the history of this fixture. Bristol City versus Millwall, going back to the 18th of November 1922, before electricity was invented. They used candles and whatnot. Yeah, back in the day. And you can look, we travelled many times to Bristol City before we eventually won in 1931. And we 2 in a row, and then you can see a massive gap. So going from 1922 to 1966, we only won 2 games in about what looks like about 22 trips. So clearly not, a happy place to go. But then obviously the 60s come, the invention of the motor car, better, quicker engines, the motorway. When was the first motorway open? Was it like 1951 or something like that? The motorways are open. You can get to Bristol quite quickly. The team getting on the coach, going down there, it's not such an arduous journey. And we start to get results. Air-conditioned buses coming in. We start to get results. Although, and then 1970, a few defeats creeping in, 3 in a row, 1974, 1975, 1982. But if you go to the modern day, 2010, that's 16 years ago. 16 years ago! 2010 is 16 years ago. Oh my goodness. Time just steals everything from you, doesn't it? But you can see from that day, 7th of August 2010, which was the opening game of the season, by the way, we won 3-0. Remember that? That was a long time. Was it Jed Wallace? A long time ago, wasn't it? We haven't lost, barely, 3 defeats in all these games, which looks about 12 games. I mean, obviously, when we have lost, it's been a ding-dong. 17th of August 2024, not last game, but the game before that, we lost 4-3. 2nd of January, a festive fixture, we lose 3-2. Was that the Bart Biakowski errors? Was it 1 error or 2 error? Didn't he, kick it on the guy? He did a shit goal kick and it came back. And then, 2010, a 1-0 defeat. So... But again, it used to be a bad place to go to get any kind of result. But more recently, not so much at all. So we'll see what turns up. If obviously this is the opening game of the season, and if we look at 4 games in August, we lost 4-3. 17th of August 2024. The 19th of August 2017 was a 0-0 draw. And as mentioned, the 7th of August 2010 was a 3-0 win. What a result that was. Entirely unexpected by most of us. But like I said, good vibes only. Good vibes. Let's transmit good vibes to everybody at the team, and the club. Good vibes only. Let's say thank you for going to the game and spending all that money. Let's say thank you. 14th of August 1971, a 3-3 draw. 19th of August 1972, a 2-2 draw anymore. 18th of August 1962, a 2-2 draw. 26th of August, well, that's probably a bit further into the season, but 0-0 draw. 0-0 draw. You get the idea with that, and then, there you go. So, like I said, historically, not a good place to get a result, but since the invention of, motorways, cars, combustion engines, and air conditioning, and inside toilets, we're doing all right. Now, here we go. Let's preview the game. Let's predict the result. So this is from WhoScored.com. Haven't seen this for a fair old while, but we're back, baby. We are back. So, the last 6 games, Bristol City versus Millwall. 2 wins for Bristol City, 0 draws, 4 wins for Millwall. Maybe it's time for a draw. Maybe it's draw time. In those 6 games, there's been 8 goals for Bristol and 11 for Millwall. Yellow cards, 11 for them, 14 for us. 1 red card for them, 0 for us. And if we... What are we doing now? Yeah. Obviously there's nothing to look at. There's no table. But just going on the result from the last game that both teams played, we drew a Queen's Park Rangers, Crispy Rangers. I was going to say Crispy Rangers because of QP Mayo Rangers. They should get sponsored by QP Mayo. That one, there you go. Have you tried the QP Mayo? It's from Japan. Apparently it's very good. What was he talking? Oh yeah, Bristol City. So, did you watch the game? I watched the game because obviously Bristol City, they were playing on Thursday night, the opening game of the Carabao Cup. I started to watch it because obviously we're going to play them in this league game coming up tomorrow, and I stopped watching it because they were fucking abysmal. They were awful to watch. What they did, they brought it up from the middle, pass, sideways. They would get to the third of the pitch that they were attacking. The defence would stand them up, and then they would go backwards and go pass back to like the halfway line or even to the keeper. And like a couple of times of this, I'm like, I can't fucking watch this shit. What's going on? And then later on, check the phone, check the score. Oh, they're losing 1-0. Start watching the game again. Okay, maybe they'll start playing normal. 10 minutes to go. They need to score because they're losing 1-0. And what do I see? Pass. Like, boys, you're losing 1-0. You need to score a goal. Do you want to try and score a goal? Pass. No, pass. Let's keep the ball, even though we need to score a goal. Let's not try and cross it into the box. Let's pass. Also, to see, they got the big guy up front, and they're doing pass. Like, play it into him. The Laurent Tolage that we were looking at, the Plymouth guy. And looking at him, like, he was blown out of his arse after 30 minutes. He looked absolutely knackered. So I don't know if he like. And we saw in an interview, was it yesterday or a couple of days ago, Jensen Metcalf saying, "Fucking hell, that was tough. That was hard work. I didn't expect it to be that tough. Like, a football game is a football game." But no, he said like that was intense. That was. So there is a difference between League One and the Championship. So. We'll see that. We will see that. But what's the difference between the foreign divisions that we're bringing these players in and the Championship? Is that bigger or smaller? I don't know. But yeah, they lost. So they lost against Walsall. So they lost against a team below them in the league system at home. I mean, damn. And they failed to score. They conceded 1 goal. And they couldn't break Walsall down. We have a good defence. We're struggling to score. But we do have a good defence. So if they can't break Walsall's defence down, what the fuck are they going to do against us? So here we go. This is also from whoscored.com. It's their preview. You can see the expected team, 4-4-2. Probably not, I don't know. They got Tickle and Dickle. And there you go. This is what they think we're going to go with. No room for Negley. No, Negley's out of the team. What's Negley done wrong? I don't know. But again, no one's told them we've got even more players injured than that. But there you go. So prediction. Bristol City fans have enjoyed an exciting summer. The Robins poached Michael Skubala from Lincoln after he led the Imps to the League One title, and have also added 2 of that league's biggest attacking threats in the form of Don Ballard and Laurent Tolage. Okay, so they're basically a League One team, is that right? If you keep buying League One players, then surely at some point you're going to be a League One team, no? After an impressive 25-26 season in which they challenged for automatic promotion, Millwall were frustrated by eventual playoff win at final wins Hull in the semi-finals. The London club will be targeting promotion again after an ambitious summer transfer window. And they say it's going to be Bristol 1, Millwall 1. Bristol 1, Millwall 1. So they're going for the draw. They are going for the draw. Now let's get a second opinion from sportsmile.co.uk. They got this preview. They've been doing all this stuff. Stuber's out. Roy Hodgson was there last season, but he's an old man. He was just caretaking, wasn't he? They've signed Tickle. They've signed League One players: Tickle, Tolage, and Don Ballard. Tickle is the keeper. 13 clean sheets for Wigan Athletic. See how good he is then, innit? We'll see how good he is. They got a League One keeper. You get the idea. What do they say? What do they say? So that's what they think the team's going to be. Leonard, Taylor, Cooper, Sturge, Denor, Metcalf, Aziz, Servais. Well, Servais is injured. No one's told them. Negley, but they put Negley in. And Coburn. And then we say Bristol City 1, Millwall 1. Neither side will want to start a new championship campaign with a defeat, and the opening day nature of the contest makes it difficult to predict how quickly the new arrivals will settle. With both teams possessing reasons for optimism but also questions to answer, we expect a tight and cagey contest at Ashton Gate, with the spoils ultimately being shared. So they've both gone for 1-1. I mean, surely, when you look, here's the thing though. They might think that. I don't think that. I don't think we think that. I don't think Alex Neil thinks that. Alex Neil's a winner. He wants to win. He's got a 50% win rate he needs to maintain. And when you look at the fixtures we've got coming up, we've got Norwich at home, we've got Southampton away. This is the easiest of the three, Bristol City. This is the winnable game. The other ones, you try your hardest. Obviously, at the moment, we've got players missing. But this is the winnable game, so you don't play for a draw. You try to win the game. You play to win the game. So I believe that it will be Bristol City 0, Millwall 1. Neil 1. 1-0 win for Millwall. Good vibes only, please. Good vibes only. Good vibes only. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.